Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 19th day of February 2025. So we've got a lot of stuff to go over today, and I want to encourage everyone, if you have questions, type them in. If I don't answer it, don't be afraid to type it in again because they scroll up out of view, okay? Alright, so I'm guessing that everybody can hear me okay, and I can put this down and change this. Oh, I want to show you, first, two things. One, if you haven't taken a free trial and you want to, go here to tvtrades.com, tv-trades.com. Click on any one of these orange buttons. It's going to bring you all the way down to the bottom. I made some changes to this. This is actually going to be a video, but I made some changes to this page. I took out the Zax thing. That isn't there anymore. When I refresh the page, it won't be there anymore. But when you click on any one of these orange things, it brings you down to the bottom. The trial is 25 bucks a week after the free 3-day trial is 25 bucks a week, or 90 bucks a month, or $97 a year. I say it's a 10% discount in here, but it's actually more than that. It's like an 18% discount, because if you do it on a weekly plan, you're paying $25 a week for 52 weeks in a year. If you do it on a monthly plan, you're only paying 90 bucks 12 times a year. So there's 2 weeks in there that you get extra. And the annual is actually more than 20% too. Even this way, it was 23% cheaper, but it's probably like 30% cheaper if you had those 2 weeks in there. But anyway, that's the cost, right? So there's no huge upfront fee. If you want to get started, get started. It's free for the first 3 days anyway. There was something else that I added in here for you guys. This is targetviewtrades.com, right? Targetviewtrades.com. This page here is to take the free trial and all that stuff to get a quick look at what we got going on. If you scroll up to the top, this will have a video behind it. This will have a video behind it. This right down here will also have a video behind it. I just don't have the videos in there right now. Also the PDF file right here. If you want a PDF file that that goes with this, you just have to email support@targetviewtrades.com. Email what was I gonna say? Trail stop to support@targetviewtrades.com. Right? Trail stop. Put that in the subject line. Okay, and I'll send you the PDF that goes with that. The thing that I was going to show you on this page that I did, the risk management stuff, because that last thing that I just told you about was all about risk management and trailing the stops. If you go here to targetviewtrades.com, go under more and click risk management. Bang. I put this right here for you, so you all have it here online. You can always go access it there and get it there if you want to. Okay. All right. Everybody still with me? Okay. You can also take the free trial from here and all that stuff. If you do not have TradingView charts, you should go here to targetviewtrades.com and click on setup right here. Watch this video. Okay. It shows you how to get TradingView charts. It shows you 2 minutes into this video, shows you how to get real-time data, because you're going to need real-time data if you're trading futures. You're going to need real-time data. Alright, so it shows you all that stuff in there. Now, you can all hear me alright, right? I just want to make sure, again, because I don't see any questions coming in or anything like that. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure the questions are coming in. Alright, this has got a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is a little bit dated right now, but I did add in the trigger one right here the information for the new trigger. You can watch this. This is out on YouTube too. But again, at targetviewtrades.com, this is the video that I made. This is like 14 minutes long, and it goes through everything that I'm going to go through here today about the optimized trigger. And the optimized trigger is rocking, guys. You guys are going to love it. If you don't use it yet, if you're not using it yet, it's just awesome. Every time I create something new, I say it's the best thing I've ever done. But it really is. It really is. I just keep making things better. All right. That said, I know there was some things. Mike R, you wanted me to show you something here with the bonds. All right, let me just cover that really quick. The ZN of the 10-year notes. These trade like way more than the ES. You can trade 1,000 contracts on this and not get any slippage. So just go to the leading contract, and if you were to do this right here on, say, a 4-tick range, or maybe a 7-tick range. Let's do a 7-tick range. Okay, if you're to do this on a 7-tick range, you're not going to get a ton of trades, but the trades that you do get, it's 15 and change a tick. All right. Uh-oh. 2 trades. Oh, I'm not logged. Yeah, I'm logged in, right? Hang on. Let me put a new one on here. I must have messed something up with that. Here it comes. All right. So the new thing with TV trades, guys, the labels that show on the price. This down here is what triggers the labels. When the white goes through the midpoint into the oversold, or through the midpoint into the overbought, is what triggers the labels. Now, it'll also trigger a label and a trade if you're flat in the overbought, but really I'm going to take that out. That's kind of a mistake that I put in there. What you're going to do is you look for the bar color, right? Look for the bar color. You look for this to get into the overbought, and then you buy the open of the next bar, or you sell the open of the next bar. This is all you have to do to turn the labels on. Just turn them on like that. It's going to turn the labels on automatically. So in here, yeah, the thing that you're probably looking at doesn't have any colors on it. All right, because you don't need the colors. Okay, it's like that probably, and just one of these like this. But on Mike R, what I was showing you is this. You only need 5 ticks a day of this, and do you see anything in here? This is the only one that's 0, but that wasn't actually even a stop out. It did go up. But this goes back a couple weeks now, right here. All the trades that were generated, all generated positive results, except that one right there. It did generate positive results, but every other one generated, more results than you actually need in a day for what you're looking at. Okay, Mike R was looking to trade a whole bunch of contracts, and he wanted something that he could do that on, so he can make a whole bunch of money. Your labels. Okay, there's a fix that I put in last night. If you go here to TV trades like this, you have the latest version. If you go here, go to about this script, and go down to the bottom. This is what I did 10 hours ago. So 10 hours ago, what time was that? That was 5 o'clock in the morning. 5:08 a.m. is when I put this in. Go down here, okay, and you can see if you have the latest version, it's going to have this here 10 hours ago. I put a little change in there that puts the labels on the right side of the bar, and it also puts labels on all the bars that should have a label. There were a couple bugs in it. That's why I was in beta yesterday. Somebody just said the chat is disabled in the webinar, but it's obviously not, because other people are sending me a bunch of messages. But yeah, this puts it on the bottom for the long trades and on the top for the short trades. Okay, and it also triggers on all the bars that it's supposed to. If you had yesterday's version on there'll be sometimes you'll get a bar with you get a white bar that doesn't have a label on it, or you get a label that doesn't have a white bar. So I had a couple of bugs that I need to fix, and there's still a couple more that I need to fix in there. Okay, but overall, this is what we're looking for. Okay, now let's go back. I'm going to throw this back on the NQ chart. All right, the NQ50 range. NQH 50 range. Okay, and this is today. This is just right now. This is what's happening right now. For anybody that's in here who doesn't know what's going on, just refresh your chart then, Larry, if you get those. For anybody who's in here who doesn't know what's going on, these labels, am I going to show how to install this in settings? I can show you how to do it, yeah. Abe, I'll do that in just a minute, okay? These labels are showing how much profit was available in the trigger bar, all right? In the trigger bar. Now that's just in the trigger bar. It doesn't mean that's all that was available, but that's just in the trigger bar. If you get a trigger bar like this one, there's 50 ticks profit available from the entry point that you should have been taking right there. But it also had 50 ticks there and 50 ticks there, and this was 41 ticks in the trigger bar. Plus all that, this was 34 ticks in the trigger bar, and it didn't go any higher. This was 15 ticks in the trigger bar, and it didn't go any lower. 42 ticks in the trigger bar, 11 ticks in the trigger bar, and 15 ticks in the trigger bar, 15 ticks in the trigger bar. And you see, it's giving you real-time information. Like that one just happened. That just happened while I was talking. It's giving you real-time information about all the bars that are happening with the triggers that are happening. So it's not me going through this and saying, yeah, that looks like it would be a win, and that looks like it'd be a win, and that would probably be a win, and that'd be a win. These are real results. Real results based on the optimized TV trades range trigger. Okay. I know some of you guys, don't have this installed yet, so I'll go through that part. All right. If you have the older version of TV trades, the older version of this, and the older version of the TV trades range trigger, then you're not going to have this option. All right. For all of you guys, you need to put the password in. So you're going to have to put the password in. I am going to change the password eventually here, but for all you guys, you're going to have to put the password in. I don't know if I have it on this one. I do. So you got to put the password in. And once you put that password in, then let me see if I can do this a different way. All right, TV trades range trigger. Let me do add to chart on that one. Okay, this is what it looks like without the password. Just get rid of that. This is what it looks like without the password. This right here. Okay, and so I'll show you how to put the whole thing on. All right, so let me just delete that. I'll take the volume off. This is what it looks like, just a blank chart. Okay, Abe. Okay, so here's what we got. Yes, Venkat, I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, I haven't created one specifically for that, but I'll show you that in a minute. All right, and don't be afraid to type in your questions again. Okay. Larry, I don't know why that's happening. It's happening to me too sometimes. If you get a spot where you don't have any bars, go to another time frame and go back, and it'll print them for you. All right, so if you're just for the first time looking at TradingView and you don't know how to put anything on the charts, right? When you open the chart up for the first time, it's probably going to have Apple, and it's probably going to be on a daily chart. So I use range bars for everything. You have to have at least the essential version to be able to use custom time frames. And custom time frames are range bars. By default, range bars, you're going to get 1, 10, 100, and 1000. If you want to add a custom interval, custom time frame, like the ones that I use, click on this little down arrow right here, click add custom interval. In here, choose range and add whatever you want. Like, I probably don't have a 53 range, or why don't I do like a 17 range? I don't know if I have one of those. I don't have a 17 range. See, if I had a 17 range, if I do 16, it will tell me I already have it. But I don't have a 17 range, so I'll just type that in. And what it's going to do is create a 17 range bar, okay? And you see it adds it into my range bar list right here. These are all the range bars that I have chosen and used over time. But I didn't have a 17 range bar, so now I do. If I want that 17 range bar to show up here with this list right here, all I have to do is go down here and star it. Bang, like that. Now it's up here with the other ones. So if I want to switch to a 17 range bar, I just click on that. That brings me up to a 17 range bar. Now, a little bit of stuff about TradingView, because I know some of you guys don't have TradingView, you don't know anything about TradingView. Sometimes, if you don't have this on auto center, auto fit data to screen, if you don't have that on auto center, price is going to run off the chart. It'll look like this, and you'll have nothing on the chart. Okay. So, yes, Abe, it gets sent automatically. So, the recording is what he was asking about. All of you will have an email that's sent to you 2 hours after this webinar closes that will have a link to the recording, the YouTube video of this. Okay. So right here, if price scrolls up out of view like that, then all you have to do is double click over here on price, double left click on price. It's going to bring it right back. It's going to center it for you. Okay. If ever it just scrolls out of view like that, or like however it scrolls out of view, you just have to double left click and it'll center it for you. Auto center. Okay. If you're brand new to TradingView, you left mouse click does a lot of things. If you left mouse click right here, you can drag the charts back and forth. Okay. If you left mouse click right here and hold it, you can scrunch things up. If you roll your button, you can crunch them up and spread them out. Okay. There's a bunch of different features that are really intuitive, and it's all with the mouse. If you want to scroll way back, press the Alt key and then the back arrow key, and it'll go really fast, so you don't have to keep dragging over. Okay, that's the Alt and the back arrow. And then you see how that's not centered? Just double click and it'll center it. All right, this thing down here brings it all the way over to the end, and this thing right here blows it up, maximizes it or minimizes it. I only have 2 things going right here, but I could have up to 8 because of the level that I have. I can have up to 8 things going right here. If I click on that, then it's going to create 8 things that are just like this last one that I had. All right, I only need 2, so I'm going back to 2. But there's a bunch of things that you can do with TradingView, and if you don't know how to use TradingView, it's worth going out and looking on YouTube and finding some videos out there. They have a ton of stuff we can learn. Just the basic functions of TradingView. Okay, so this is what the chart looks like when you just put it on. It doesn't have anything on it. Now, to get the very latest stuff that we have, you go here to indicators, and you would go in here in your invite only section. Now, for me, it's in my favorites, but yours is going to be an invite only. You have to click on that one time and click on that one time. The TV trades and TV trades range trigger one time each. All right, this is what this looks like by default, and this is what this looks like by default. All right, so you are going to be given a password that I am going to start changing on a more regular basis, but you're going to be given a password. The reason I don't change it on a more regular basis is because nobody seems to get the emails. It's just a pain in the neck for me to send the emails. And I put it in a password protected place on the website, but then I'd have to send out the password to that. So it's just a pain in the neck. I might SMS it to people. I might do that. It depends. But, yes. So this is what it looks like when you put it on by default. All right. Now I know I'm talking fast, but I have a lot of stuff I got to go over. We're 17 minutes in. We're almost a third of the way through this. For what the latest stuff we're using is, you don't need the arrows here. You don't need the background color. Okay? You don't need either one of those. Now I know some of you guys have been getting into my morning session with me, which is a whole other product. All right, it's at mytradingiq.com. It's a whole other product. It costs $5,000. This is $25 to get started. That is $5,000 to get started. Big difference. 200 times difference. But I know some of you guys are over there, and in there you see things like the YBR and things like that. In here you have the background color, which serves the same exact purpose as the YBR does in that. It's different, it's made up of different things, but it serves the same exact purpose. So don't kill yourself trying to get a YBR. Alright, so in here we don't really need the background color. Alright, let me just take that off, and we'll get around to that in a few minutes. Okay, but if we go in here, the way to take that off, first I'm going to get rid of the arrows because you don't need the arrows. Right? You should have nothing on your chart that you're not going to use. Right? Remove everything that you're not going to use on your chart. Alright, so I took the arrows off, and now I'm going to go in here and take the background color off. It's right here, buy sell area. Alright, so this is what the chart looks like. You can also get rid of the bar color if you want. It doesn't matter because it's going to be overwritten when you put in the password on this, on the TV trades range trigger. That's going to overwrite all the bar colors. But you can shut off the bar colors in here, and this is just what it looks like. Then click this. It says beta because I'm still working out bugs with the labels, but click that. Okay, and it doesn't matter whether you have this on down here or not. See, it's calculating right now. It's got a lot of math to do to figure all that stuff out, but once it does, bam, there you have it. That is every trade that triggered using the TV Trades optimized trigger. That is every trade that triggered and how much profit was available on the very first bar that it triggered on. Alright, do you see any zeros in there? How many trades do you see in there? And this is the NQ17 range. It's just a random NQ chart. 17 range. No zeros, right? Do you still have to match the buy and sell signals with the overbought and oversold? Of course you do, because this happens after the bar closes. Alright, see this bar right here? It happens after the bar closes. It doesn't update intra-bar. With range bars, it does not update intra-bar. You can put it on like a minute bar or 5-minute bar. No, like a minute bar, and it will update intra-bar once it loads up here. You'll see it update intra-bar, but there's a difference, a huge difference if you're trading in minute bars from range bars. Okay, this stuff that I showed you over here on this page, the risk management stuff right here, that is for range bars only. You know that ahead of time because they're range bars. So you can figure that stuff out ahead of time. You don't need to go and say, okay, well, where's the swing high, where's the swing low, and my stop. Okay, so for this one, my stop needs to be up here, but this last one, my stop needed to be up here, and my target on this one's going to be down here, and my target on this one's going to be in the same place down there, but it's in a much different place. It's much closer. You don't have to figure that stuff out with range bars, all right? Now, the numbers, they still work the same. I mean, even here, you don't see any that is 0. You got 1 here that's number 1. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's at number 1. It said to go long at the open of this bar. It pulled all the way back down here. It went 1 tick into profit, pulled all the way back down here, and it ended up going up. But you're looking for the same stuff. Now, Abe, you were talking about still having to wait for it to go into the overbought or oversold. Well, yes, you do. This range trigger right here by itself can be used, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm going to talk about the optimized range trigger, okay? And I'm going to get into the trend transitioning as well once I start getting into that. So inside the TV Trades range trigger, I'm going to get rid of this one, right? I'm going to work with this one because I don't have to put a password in this one. You're going to need to put in your member password right here. Now, most of you guys who are members know what that is. I haven't changed it in like 2 weeks. So you're going to put in your member password there. All right. If you look on this side of it, the stuff that is enabled when you don't have that on, you get this is enabled when you don't have that on. This is enabled when you don't have that on. Okay. These are enabled when you don't have that on. Oh no, these are not enabled. Sorry, these are not enabled until you actually put a password in. Once you put the password in, then these become enabled, this becomes enabled, these right here become enabled. All right, and therefore all 3 different trade setups, actually 4 now. But the optimum trigger, you got to click on this button. You put in your password and click on this button. When you do that, watch what happens down here. Bang. Okay, it didn't all happen because I didn't have it turned down over here. Do optimum bar color, and well, I may have to actually go into the thing anyway. What the heck did I do? Shut that off, turn that on. I'll get rid of that. Say okay. Hang on. Hold that thought for 1 second. All right. So that is what it looks like when you put the password in. Now it's got these double lines here in the overbought and oversold. One is at 85, or one is at 80, and one is at 90. You can go in here and get rid of either one, but one is at 80 and one is at 90. You can get rid of either one, really. It doesn't matter. This is the one for the optimum trigger. You can leave that on if you want. This is the one for the regular TV trades. You can take that off, so you just have a limited thing down there. So ideally what you're looking for here in real time, when price is moving, on here, to actually make these turn on, you got to turn on the bar color down here. To get the bar color to change white up here, that's part of the TV Trades range trigger. It's right here, okay? So let me go through that again. When you have nothing on the chart, you start out with nothing. Then you come into your invite only, you put on the TV Trades, okay? When you put the TV Trades on, inside the TV Trades, inside here, you shut off the bar color, shut off the buy sell area, come in here, only put on the beta right there, only put on the display optimum bar right there. Right, just put that on and say okay. That's what you do for the TV trades up here on price. That's going to give you these labels. Then down here, when you put this on, you're going to come in here, and on the other side you're going to put in your password. All right, optimum trigger. After you've hit display optimum trigger on the inputs, then come here, make sure optimum bar color is checked, make sure optimized snipe is checked, and optimized line is checked. Now this black and white is this black and white that you see right here on this line. This red is this red right here. Now let me explain something about these so you have kind of an idea what's going on down here. There are 3 positions that this red line can be in. All right. It can be 95, it can be 0, and it can be negative 95. Now, I know some of you guys have this urge to want to go out and copy things and try to get it to work on like NinjaTrader and other platforms. And you might get stuff that's close. You're not going to get anything that's exactly right because this is made up of a bunch of different things. And I create the scaling myself. So I decide when it goes to 0 and when it goes to 95, when it goes to minus 95. And the crossover that you're getting in here is dependent upon this being where it is. So you're not going to be able to duplicate it. But I know some of you guys are going to try anyway. And I know you're trying just because you want to have it on NinjaTrader, or you want to have it somewhere else that I'm not going to put it. I am not going to put it on NinjaTrader. Now, I'd say it's nothing against NinjaTrader, but it really is. It's everything against NinjaTrader. They have complete control. Once you get into their ecosystem, they can just yank permission on you from anything at any time, and you have lost all control. And any clients you have, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to service them, and they won't care. They did that to us a year ago. Just about a year ago today. Just about a year ago this month. They did that to us in Trading IQ. They yanked our permission. They yanked us out of the ecosystem. Yanked our IDs. Yanked our everything. And said, screw you. Because we missed one form in an email. They sent one form one time in an email on a Monday, and we missed it. And they yanked the permissions. Fortunately, I knew a guy there who's been there a really long time and is way up in the business, and he got it put back for us. But because of that, I'm never gonna put anything in NinjaTrader again. So that's how you set this up. Okay, sorry, I got off on a little tangent there about Ninja. That's how you set this up. Now, you can see that these are real-time numbers. I'm not putting anything in or taking anything out. I'm not massaging this in any way. These are what the signals are giving you on every one of these things. Every one of these is a positive number. Every signal generated profit. Every single one right here generated profit. And you are still going to need to watch it, Abe. When it's like approaching the oversold right here, it's approaching the midpoint, you'd be looking for the down close of the next bar. All right, if it gets right here and the current bar is this one right here and this bar is working, like right over here. Right now it wouldn't be here, but right now you'd be looking for it to give us an up close and to get toward the middle, and then the bar after that would be the one that get you into the overbought. So you can see it's going to take 2 bars to get from the overbought to the oversold. I don't think I have any of these. I think it does take 2 bars minimum to get from the overbought to the oversold. So you see when it's down here, you know it's not going to be this bar, but it could be the next bar that's going to be your trigger. So you can see ahead of time. You can plan for it, okay? Question, so the best overbought oversold 80 for us is the optimized trigger. The 80 is what the optimized trigger looks for to calculate whether it's going to be white or not. Okay? So that's, the question was, so the best overbought or oversold is 80 for us using the optimized trigger. The optimized trigger looks for 80. All right? It pushes the bar to 95 or minus 95, but it only looks for 80. Because there were instances where it might go to 95, but it might start at a different point. That's why I use the 80 in there. It's tough when you're writing this stuff and I'm creating things and I gotta, oops, I didn't mean to do it. If you ever do this, that means you dragged your oscillator up onto price. All you have to do is go to the 3 dots and go to move to new pane below. All right, if that ever happens to you. Let me show you that again. It means you dragged your oscillator onto price accidentally, like that. Okay, just hit the 3 dots, go to move to new pane below, and it'll go back down there. All right. All right, so you see, while I've been talking, since I started, should we just wait until you get a new white bar and then enter? Yeah, that's what you want to do. You got to wait until you get a white bar, like right here. You could be short right there. That one already went 29 ticks into profit. When it went up here, when this bar was white, it closed. You enter short right there at the open. It went 29 ticks into profit. Now, I wasn't watching it, but it just did that while I was talking. And that'll be on the recording. 29 ticks. My daily goal is 20. 20. So that's my goal, that's my goal, that's my goal, that's almost, that's my goal, that's almost, that's my goal, that's almost, that's almost, that's almost, that's my goal, that's almost, that's my goal, that's my goal, that's my goal, that's almost, that's almost. And the spreadsheet that I keep, those of you guys that have been watching me for, any length of time, well, this spreadsheet goes back, 11 years now. Almost, well, yeah, over 11 years. It's got my daily results going back all those years, and this column right here, I want this column to equal $100 every day. That's what I want to equal with one contract. All right, this is what I got today in the morning session. I got $1,812 per contract. So I got $18,125 this morning when I was trading 10 contracts. This is my daily results, going back years and years and years. Okay. I keep my goal at $100. I mean, I know I can get it every day. That's why I have green days all the time. I've now gone 439 business days since my last red day. Right, my last day that I ended negative and I didn't get my goal. 439 business days. That's almost 2 full years. The idea is to keep the goal something that you can achieve. You know you can achieve every single day. Who remembers find the password of the TV Trades range trigger? Hal, it's the same password it was the last time. I haven't changed it in like 2 weeks. Okay? You have to ask me for it or look in your email. The email that you get says something like security update, and it comes from support@targetviewtrades.com, and it says security update in the header. Alright, whenever I send those things out, it's like you guys don't get them. It's like, 6 people get it out of hundreds. 6 people get it, and and I got to send it out piecemeal. It is such a pain. I'm tempted to not do it at all. Please explain the entry again slowly. Okay, it's 3:32. I'm halfway through, guys, and I didn't even get into the transitioning stuff yet. Okay, let's talk about the entry. There was just an entry right here, right? Okay, so you see where we are right now. We're in the overbought, and this is what the price looks like. What we have done right here, as far as price action goes, is we've done a 50% retracement of the leg down. All right, this was the leg down. This is 50% of that leg down. We've done a 50% retracement. What we should do now is another leg down this big. Should go right over here. Another leg down that big. It should take this amount of time to do it. So that should go over to here, and this should be right over here. This is what we should see. If it's going to go in our direction, if it's going to do what it should do, then this is where we should have price in this amount of time. How much time did this take? 28 to 32. So in 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, we should be over here. Okay, that's what you should do. Now, so when it's overbought like this, what you'd be anticipating is that it's gonna close down, and when it does close down, it's gonna move this down a little bit, right? It's not gonna move it all down. It's not gonna go all the way down. It's not gonna be a signal. But the next bar is when you have to get ready. The next bar is the one that's probably gonna go all the way down and give you the white. All right. The next bar is gonna close. It's gonna get through the midpoint and close down here and give you the white. More than likely, it's gonna get down there and give you the white. Okay, good, Hal. Good. So it was out there. All right, and that's how you know the signal is going to be coming. That's how you can prepare for it. So I don't know how long it's going to take for this to close down, but when it does close down, it's probably going to pull. See, it pulled that down just a little bit. Now that to that, it could happen. It could go from here all the way down to there, but it's not likely. But so what you would be looking for. On which trade? On this trade, you wouldn't have done anything yet. You wouldn't have done a thing on this trade yet. Okay? There's no trade here yet. The white has to get into the oversold for it to be a trade. So there's no trade here yet. Okay. How do you get the gray background? Take this right here. Click on that link that I just gave you. That is this right here. Alright. That's that right there. That is this layout. If you click on that, it's going to be read-only copy. It's going to say copy in the upper right hand corner up here. Click on the word copy, and it'll prompt you to rename it. It'll either prompt you to upgrade because you have too many layouts, or it'll prompt you to rename it. Okay. So if it prompts you to rename it, just rename it. If it gives you a thing that says to upgrade, it's because you have too many layouts, and you probably have essential where you can only have 5 layouts. In that case, you have to click on open layout and go in here and delete the extra layouts that you have. Now I have premium, so I think I can have 400 or 500 layouts, but you don't need that. You see this right here? Now it just got into the oversold, but it's not an actual trade. Right? Not every black line, not every line that goes from the overbought into the oversold is actually a trade. This is not a trade because it didn't turn white. Okay, you need to understand that. So right now, the next bar, if this closes up, it could be white. Okay, this right here, that it was a short trade right here that went 29 ticks into profit. 29 ticks into profit. Why would that be a break even? I mean, for me, it wouldn't be. Not if it goes 29 ticks into profit, it wouldn't be. You know, I go to break even after 20 ticks on a 50 range. I go to break even after 20 ticks, but then I start locking in profit after that. Okay. How you manage a trade after I have moved the stop? Well, I got to get a trade to do that, Mark. I will if I can. Okay. Did you, Mark? I did send you the the thing with the what market are we looking at? We're looking at the NQ. Let me bring up my NQ down. This one right here. Okay. I did send you the thing. What the heck did that say? Okay. I did send you the thing that had the PDF, right? Mark, I'm pretty sure I did, right? Okay, make sure this is going to stay on top. There, it is going to stay on top. Okay. So I will show you a trade if one happens. All right, I'll take a trade if one happens. Okay, it's 338, so one's probably going to happen here, and I'll be able to take it with you. Okay. Okay, there's a PDF that I made last night. If you send me an email that says trail stop in the subject line, you will get that PDF sent to you. White at the bottom, range trigger, and top TV trades right there, right here. I'm going to go long, right here. It missed me. It didn't fill me yet. Come on, get in there. Ah, crap. That was a trade right there. I just missed it. Normally I would just drop it in the green, but I was gonna miss the entry. But the trade was right here, the open of this bar, right here. And you see that trade right there just took off. That was the signal. That was your entry point, and I wasn't paying attention, or I would have gotten that. I would have gotten that trade. I'd be taking 48 ticks in profit right now, 50 ticks in profit. Right there. 43 ticks right there. 43 ticks on that bar. That just happened. And it happens again and again and again. I mean, look at them all. Look at them all. I'm not making this up. You know, this is what's happening when they trigger. Every time it triggers, there's profit. Okay, I'm not making that up. That is real time right there. This happens after the bar closes. It tells you what it did. All right. So you got to get into it when the bar opens. If I wasn't doing this and looking over here and doing that, then okay. So the entry right here. When I saw that going down into the oversold, what I should have been doing is waiting for it to close, and then when it closed, I should have been taking a trade. Right? That's what I should have been doing. But I wasn't doing that. I was looking over here on the other screen and not paying attention to what was going on right here. Now in the morning session, when I'm trading in the morning session, you guys, TV Trades does not have a morning session, right? When I talk about the morning session, it's another product that's not TV Trades, it's Trading IQ. But when I do stuff in the morning session, when I'm focused in trading in the morning session, then that's what I'm doing. I'm not, as soon as, you don't even know it's white, Peter, Debu. You don't even know it's white until it closes, right? The bar is black until it closes. Well, actually, this one right here is white. Oh, that one closed. So you'd be shorting right here, okay? So I'm going to short right there. All right. So I think I got a pretty good entry on it. The short should have been here at 32, and I'm in at 38. So I do have a good entry on that. All right. Now this is not set up. My bracket is not set up for a. It's not set up for a 50 range bar. It's set up for a 31 range. So I only have a 36 tick stop on this. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I doubt that it will, but it could. So I'm going to bump my stop because of the way the bracket is set up. We are on a 50 range. I should bump my stop after 20, but we'll just see. We'll let it go. But this is the trade right here, right? When it went up into the overbought like that, it gave you a white bar. You sell the open of the next bar. The open of the next bar was right there at 38.50, and I sold at 38. Okay, so here we go. Once it gets down to 33 right there, stop to break even. Now my stop is at break even. I'm going to start locking in profit on this. Every point is $200. All right, so from there down to there, that's $1,000 right there. Okay, that is $1,000 right there that I just locked in, and that's 1,100. I think, right? No, every point is 200 bucks. Sorry, every point is 200 bucks. That's 1,200, 1,400, and we're gonna hit the. I think we're gonna hit the target there. No, 1,400 bucks. But that's a trade right there. That's the real thing. Live, real-time trading right there. And that's what I do. Well, when I'm trading in the morning, that's what I do. But you saw the trade was when it went into the overbought, sell the open of that bar. So I sold the open. I was off by 1 tick. I thought I was off by more than that, but I was off by 1 tick. And I just took a bunch of profit on that. That is all you have to do. Okay? So I just do partial closes every point it moves. I'm not sure what you mean partial closes. Partial closes. Yes, I'm trailing my stop. I'm trailing my stop. Okay, in trending cases, that's a good question. Mark wants to know how it works in trending cases, all right? Now, it works great no matter what you're doing, but when you Mark, this is flat right here. This stuff works great when it's flat. All right, let me answer one question at a time. In trending cases, to determine a trend, let's start there, Debo, okay? To determine a trend, and this is the trend transition thing that I wanted to cover. All right, if you put the buy-sell area back on here, now you have a trend, right? The red, you're in a downtrend. The blue, you're in an uptrend. The red, you're in a downtrend. The blue, you're in an uptrend. So when you're in a trend like this, if you have a red background, then only take the short trades. Only take the ones that go into the overbought. All right, it's a pretty simple process. Only take the ones that go into the overbought. Skip the ones that go into the oversold. That is a trend transition. Okay, that is a trend transition. If you want to only take the long trades when it's blue when you're in an uptrend, then that's all you do. Just take the long trades. All the white ones here would be the long trades. All right, all the white ones would be your long trades. Over here, all the red ones would be your short trades. Now, it's not going to print the label until the bar closes, so you don't know until the bar closes. But you know what kind of a trend you're in, right? You know whether you're looking for a long trade or a short trade. So in this case right here, we'd be looking for a short trade. So you're not going to get anything from this right here. Unless it curves up right now and goes into the overbought again and gives you a white arrow, I mean a white line, a white bar, I mean, then, you know, and it could do that. It's possible that it could turn up, kind of like this one did over here, or this one right here. It could do that. It's not likely to. Let's see. So now it's probably going to go down here, and it's going to give you a long opportunity. But you have a red background. So if you're going to be trading with the trend, there's your trend transition. All right? If you have the background on, you trade in one direction. If you don't have the background on, you can trade in both directions. Now the question that was asked just a minute ago is, what about when it goes flat? What about when it goes flat? This stuff works great on everything. Do you see any zeros here? Right? Do you? And we have flat spots, and we have trending spots. Do you see any zeros? I mean, really? Let's go back and look. Any zeros? Anywhere? Anybody? Zeros? No. Zeros? Anywhere? No. Yes, it works great for both ranging, flat, and you know, in next week's meeting it works great in chop, and there's different kinds of chop. There's a bugle chop, there's a triangle chop, and there's channel chop. And that's next week's meeting. I'm going to get into that next week's meeting. This stuff works great in everything. Okay? But I'm not making these numbers up. These are real numbers. Those are actual real numbers. From the open of the bar to the top of the bar. From the open of the bar to the bottom of the bar. From the open of the bar to the top of the bar, or the bottom of the bar in this case. Those are real numbers. And none of them are zero. So every trade gave an opportunity to take profit. Every single trade right here gave an opportunity to take profit. Now, there are zeros. There are cases where there are zeros, but do you see any in this bunch right here? There's about 30 trades right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, 20 trades. 20 trades. So there's 20 trades here, none of them are zero. And as far as me getting my goal for the day, so far in this meeting, there were 4 opportunities for me to get my goal for the day if I'd have been paying attention. And if I just got 20 on each one of those, that's 80 ticks. If I just got 20 on each one of those, is 80 ticks for the NQ. That's $4,000 for me with 10 contracts on. And that's so far in this meeting. So, I mean, anybody can do this, all right? You just got to put it on your chart and pay attention to what it says. That's all. Anybody can do it. There's no huge learning curve. You don't have to say, oh, well, you got to have divergence here and you got to have divergence there and you got to wait for this high and this low and that low. You don't need any of that stuff. All right? You don't need anything else on price. You can put stuff on there if you want to, but the whole idea behind TV trades was to make it simple for you guys. You know, you hear me talk about the room in the morning where I'm trading with people. That's something that I've been doing for almost 2 decades. And really, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. I want you guys to be able to do this. I don't want to be trapped at a computer for 2 hours every day. I don't want you to be trapped at a computer for 2 hours every day. I want you to be able to get in there, put this on, see a trade coming up, take the trade, and be done. And that's what most people want. What about the white bar goes black and stays at the top? You mean like this guy right here? Or this guy down here? I am going to get rid of those. When I was fixing the bugs last night, getting this on the bottom and stuff like that, I was going to do that too. But and the 80 ticks, what I was talking about was 20 ticks at a time for these 4 trades, Wayne. It's just doing the one contract, taking 20 ticks off of each one of these 4 trades that have triggered since I've been talking. And Paul, you're talking about 1530. What about when the wait a minute, 1530. Let me go back to your original question, Paul. What about the white bar goes black and stays at the top? It doesn't matter. The trade's already triggered. It doesn't matter that it's doing anything up here, staying flat up there. The trade's already triggered. You're either in it or you're out of it. It doesn't matter that it stays up there. It doesn't matter that it stays down here. See, this was sort of my way of making the flat spots insignificant. I did get rid of them. I did have a way to get rid of them, but then that screwed up the entry technique. So what I did is I made the flat spots insignificant. Right. That is what I did with that. Okay, how do you get the boxes with numbers in them with the white bars? Johnny, you have to go out. Now, I know I set you up. I got your email today that said you weren't set up. I know I set you up. But I'll go back and check on it. But to get it, it's inside the TV Trades range trigger. If you don't have that display optimum trigger thing showing there, then you don't have the latest version of the TV Trades range trigger. You got to delete the one you have and add one. Okay. If you guys don't have these things that I'm showing you, you don't have that inside the TV Trades range trigger, and in here you don't have this beta. If you don't have that, it's because you have the wrong version. If you have the wrong version, there's usually a little purple circle that says you need to update. You can click on that to update it, or you can just delete it and add a new one. Okay. When am I using the range trigger in Q50 range? When using the NQ50 range, expect the next trade to be triggered by a D, for example, find the top of the current bar, and in your head subtract 50 from that and have your order waiting. To be proactive, Mark, you can do that, but there's no guarantee it's going to be a white bar when it closes. Like this wasn't a white bar right here, and this wasn't a white bar down here. This wasn't a white bar here. Alright, so you kind of got to wait for the white bar, and then just have your finger on the trigger and be ready to go. Okay. Hal, is there a guide on the website for this? There's not a guide, but there's a video. There's a video out on YouTube. There's tons of videos about it. Okay, but there's not a guide. And Mark, when using, I just answered that one. And Mike said, the bar that shows a potential profit won't show the black line in the trigger. Right. No, the bar that shows, this bar here that shows the potential profit probably will be the black line. Sometimes it'll be white, but usually it's going to be the black line. Now, sometimes it'll be white if you have 2 in a row. It'll be white. I don't see 2 in a row right here in this set, but there are times where you have 2 in a row, and it'll be white then, but usually it's going to be black, like, because the trigger bar is what turns white, and after that it turns black. Okay. When you're in the trade, nothing down here really matters anymore. Then it's just about managing the trade. And that brings me to, did I put it on the website last night? I was thinking about it. I don't know if I did though. Risk management. This is not it. This is just the stops, where to put your stops for the different range bars, and when to move to break even, and what to use for a profit target. But there's a PDF that I made. Let me see if I can open that up. Let me see. I got it right here. There's a PDF that I made yesterday. Here it is. Ta-da! Risk management, getting the most out of a trade. I made this yesterday with yesterday's charts and stuff like that, showing you how to manage your stops, how to manage your risk. If you want a copy of this, send an email to me at support@targetviewtrades.com and put trail stop in the header. Trail stop in the subject line. Okay. Do that, and I'll send you this. Okay, Mark, I thought I sent it to you already. But this is something that I created yesterday, and I really took a great deal of time putting this together. When I actually typed it all out, I typed it all out in just one big long run-on sentence, and then I had to go and piece it apart. It seemed like it was a lot longer than that when I actually made it, but you all will have access to that. Okay. Luigi, you see green and red bars being painted in addition to the blue and white. That's because you didn't shut off the bar colors. Let me go back to the chart over here. Down here in your range trigger, it should overwrite it, right? It should overwrite it, but you still have, yeah, see, it should overwrite those. Do you have the optimum bar color here checked? And up here in TV trades, shut off the bar color in here. Shut off your bar colors in here. In TV trades. Okay, and again, you guys can always go here. I already put this out there once, but I'll put it here again. And take that. It's a copy of what I'm using right now. Alright, just click on that. It's this link right here. You'll have a copy to what I'm doing right here. This one here just gave 40 ticks in profit. I didn't see it, but it just gave 40 ticks in profit. See, this is real-time stuff. I'm not making this up. It's not me going through and picking through it and saying, oh, well, this looks like it would have been a good trade. This one over here looks like it would have been a good trade, and I skipped like 3 stop outs. None of them are stopping out. Directly, anyway. If you didn't move your stop to break even on that one, you would have stopped out. If you didn't move your stop to break even on that one, you would have stopped out. Actually, this one you wouldn't have. Well, it depends where your stop was, because it pulled back and then it went up. This one right here, you would have made it. That would have been okay. This one right here would have kept going. That would have been okay. This one right here, it depends how far back your stop was. This is a 50 range, so your stop's going to be 60 ticks. So, yes, Ricky. So again, if you haven't signed up, what time is it? 3:55. Man, where did the time go? So if you haven't signed up for the trial, go here to tvtrades.com, tv-trades.com, and click on the orange button. Any one of the orange buttons will get you there. Now, I did redo this. If I refresh this, I'm gonna put a video behind this today. There's gonna be a video behind that, and there's gonna be a video behind this. I think. Maybe. Maybe not a video. Maybe a PDF. But there'll be a video behind that one. But anyway, if you click on the orange button, it's gonna bring you down to the bottom, and this is it. $25 a week, or $90 a month, or $9.97 a year, whichever you want to do. Sign up for the free trial. If you sign up now, I'll get you going today. Yeah, $25 a week. I should be charging $1,000 a week. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you happen to see, if you happen to have spots in here, I noticed today this has happened. I don't know if it's because of the stuff that I'm using up here, but I noticed today there were some spots where the bars just weren't printing. If you get a spot like that, go to a different time frame and go back to the time frame that you were on. Okay, just do that. All right. So you can see in here, I mean, since I've been talking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. If I was trying to get 20 ticks out of a trade, 5 times, 100 ticks right there. Still not able to see the beta version. You deleted it and added it again. Just delete it and add it again, Peter, because I am sure that I gave you. Well, I'll go back and check and make sure you have all the permissions you're supposed to have. Okay. All right. So it is now 3:57. I'm going to wrap up in 3 minutes, guys. At 3:15, the red line went up. Hang on, Steven. At 3:15, the red line went up. Thought you were supposed to sell at 3:15 right here. The red line didn't turn white when it went up, did it? No, it did not. So that's not a trade right there, is it? It's after the white bars is what you're gonna have. Is where you're gonna have the trade. Okay. The red line stays red the whole time. It's the one that turns white that you're looking for. Right. Now there is something to that though, Stephen. There is something to be said about that. If the black line went with it and the black line turned white at the same time, then it would be a trade. Okay. There is something to be said about that, because that was something that I was looking at originally. And that's usually when you're going to have these flat spots down here, right? So if you get a flat spot down there, then you got a bar to go with it, the white bar to go with it, then it's going to be a trade, like right down here on this one. So you have the white bar right down there to go with it. That would be a trade. But if it's just like this without the white, then it's not a trade. Okay? Yeah, 3:15. That's right here. 3:15. Right here. This one down here, it did give you a trade right there. Right there. 45 ticks. What does the red spikes? The red spikes, it's actually the thing I was looking for to begin with. I was looking for the red spikes. It was an anomaly that I created. And then in creating that, I found something else that happened even more frequently that was just as good. So you don't really need... I could get rid of the red spikes, but I think they're good to have there because they show you that it's not just some random midpoint. And you really don't need that red line, do you? Because it still turns white without it. You need it for reference. Okay? You need it for reference. That's what you need it for. Now the white line, it doesn't really have to cross the red line. It's got to cross, what was the number I said earlier? 80. It's got to cross 80 or negative 80 is what the white line's got to cross. It's got to either be above 80 or below 80. And then conditions that make this red line move have to happen to turn it white. Like right here, it's below negative 80. And the condition that made the red line move happened. That's what turned that white. Alright? Right here, it went below the midpoint and below negative 80. And the condition that made the red stay there happened. Okay, so this red line, it does mean something. The statement was that you don't really need the red line, do you? Because it still turns white without it. And the reality is the red line is actually, you need the red line because, see this one right here, Stephen? White with the red. That's a trade. But the red line is like your control. Right? You got to have the red line there. It helps you see when you should be expecting something as well. Okay? Helps you to be proactive and be able to see when to expect stuff. Alright guys, it's 4 o'clock. I feel like I didn't cover anything, but I think I did cover everything I wanted to. I went into the transition stuff. If you have a blue background, just look for the long trades. If you have a red background, just look for the short trades. I didn't go into all the other things you can do with the trigger because this is so much better than everything else. It's really not even worth going into all that other stuff. I could take all the other things off on all the other indicators. If you just use this, you're going to be doing better than any of the other things, I think. Okay? You thought you would sell when the line went to the top. It's got to be a white line going to the top. Alright? Not a black line like that. Not a black line like that. Not a black line like that. Not a black line like this. It's got to be a white line going to the top. That's when you sell. Okay? And this was a white line going to the bottom. So in this case here, you would buy. You'd buy. In this case here, you buy. You buy. You buy on this one right here too. Okay? You buy. You buy. You buy after this white flat spot. You buy right here. Buy there. Buy there. Buy there. This flat spot up here, you sell. Alright? You sell there. You sell right there. You sell there. You sell there. You sell here, 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 and here. Right? there's no sell here because it didn't make it up into the overbought, but you buy right here, right? It doesn't get any simpler than that. If you want to limit the trades, throw in the trend. Put the colors on the background if you want to limit the trades. It's up to you. Okay. You go to white bar, then you probably don't, Tamjo, you probably don't have the latest version. Okay. Are your white things on the bottom or are they on the top? Because that was a bug I fixed last night or this morning. And the reason the labels are in beta is because it's still got a few bugs in it. Okay. This in here says beta. I wanted to get it out to you because I think in the past you have red and white, but are they on the top or do they oscillate? Is the white on the bottom or is the white on the top? Alright, then you don't have the latest version because the latest version has the white on the bottom. So delete your TV trades and add it again. Probably refresh your chart. Click this thing right here. Click refresh. Then delete your TV trades and go back in here to indicators and add a new one. Alright, you don't have the latest version. That's why you have a label that doesn't have, you have a white bar with no label. That was a fix I did last night. It's still going to happen every now and then. Like this one right here, I just noticed. There's one right there that doesn't have a label. Actually, no, this is the label that applies to that one. This is the label that goes with that one. Okay, yeah. I thought I fixed that last night. Okay, if your white is on top, you have the wrong version. What numbers should you use to send me a question via text? Hang on. Keep in mind, I live in North Carolina, so if you guys are on Pacific Coast and you send me things at like midnight, it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I may still be up, but, you know, I may or may not respond. In TradingView, do I use regular trading hours or electronic? I use electronic, Keith. Electronic is, you know, the 24 hours. Regular trading hours is, you know, regular stock market trading hours is what they refer to in that sense. So at 3:15, there was a white candle. I took 15 tick profit. Hang on. At the trigger, 100. At 3:15. You're still going on about this one, right? It's a white candle right here. So you would have entered at the open of this bar. It went 36 ticks into profit. On this one right here, at 3:08, it was right here you would have entered, and that gave 45 ticks minimum. Gave you more than that ticks profit. Okay? There's nothing right here at 3:15 exactly. Right? Right here, there's 15:09 and 15:16. So there's no trade here on the short side, okay, because it's black. You have a long trade right here that went 36 ticks. You have a long trade right here that went 45. What is left? 3:15? You talking about over here? 13:15. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the 3. I'm not seeing the 1. 13:15. It was me doing that. Yes, okay. So in this one right here, this would have been a short. And that went, it went 15 ticks into profit right here before it went up. Okay, so it went 15 ticks. That's the one that I said probably would have been a stop out. There's that one and that one, but this one would have been a stop out and this one wouldn't have been. Okay, I gotta refresh this. This isn't looking right now. Something's off. But this right here would have been a stop out because I would have moved my stop after 20 ticks. So after 15, I would have still been waiting for the 20, and I would have stopped out on that. But it did go 15 ticks into profit. Okay, it did go 15 ticks into profit. In Chapel Hill, that's out where Macy goes to school. Well, she goes to state, so she's in Raleigh. I am in Hickory, west, 3 hours west, in the foothills of the mountains. Alright, so let me go back. Did I get all the questions answered, everybody? Did I answer all your questions? Because it's now 4:06, and I really want to wrap it up. I don't think these meetings go over too long. Okay, alright. then I'm going to stop the recording first right here. Again, I want to say, if you haven't taken the trial, go to tv-trades.com, sign up for the trial there. If you sign up right now, I'll get you going right away and get your stuff going. Those of you guys, if you want the PDF file, I think that's on this page. If you want the PDF file that goes with this, send an email to support Target View Trades, put trail stop in the subject line. Do I have a template of the 4 futures that I do in the morning session? Yeah, I can give you that too. Hang on a second. Let me go back here. Let me save this one. Well, let me minimize this and then save it. Okay, so you're gonna have, this is what it's gonna look like. All right, the one that I was doing this morning is this one right here. Okay, now there's stuff on this that you're not gonna have access to. You're not gonna have access to this black line down here. All right, so that's gonna show up is non-accessible to you. But if I copy this and I go here and I gotta share it in here, if I copy that, I can stick that out there for you. You can use that. You're gonna have to make a copy of it. Okay, and I'm gonna unshare it in about 10 minutes. So you have right now to take a copy of that and make a copy of it. All right, and all right, so everybody's got everything they needed out of all this, and if you have any questions, you can email support@targetviewtrades.com, or you can text me at that number that I gave you earlier. Those are the best ways. You can hit me up in Telegram too. My ID in Telegram is @trading_I_Q. You can text me in Telegram too. I know a lot of you guys do that. If you want me to ever send you a big file, Telegram is the way to go for that. Okay? All right, let me stop the recording.